to the Lurch Pens review of the Pelikan M205 Petrol Special Edition. This is a 2023 Special Edition pen by Pelikan. It is in the 200 series, which is their entry-level series for their fine writing. So they're nicer pens. The pricing on this is, I got it for about $135. I had some coupons that I used at Pen Boutique, but you can find it between anywhere from $145-ish to $200 US. It's a great pen. So let's go over and take a look at the various parts of it. As you can see, first there's this beautiful teal, bluey green pattern on it. A lot of depth to that color. Let's see if I can get that. See, a lot of depth in that color. See, you got the iconic Pelikan bill clip. This is a pretty stiff clip, but it's functional. Got the Pelikan feeding her baby chick, and the end finial here is just plain black. It is a twist cap. Let's count how long it takes to take it off. Just shy of one twist. Let's try that again, make sure I got it right. So, snugged on. A little over a half twist, and that comes off. It is a piston filler. You can't see very well. Actually, I know you can't see. This right here is actually an ink window. You'd have to hold it up to a pretty bright light to see through it. It's kind of a dark bluey green color. But let's, so there is a little bit of an ink window, but for all intents and purposes, it's basically useless. You won't be able to see your ink level on that at all. Hardly at all. Let's take a look at the nib. So you got your plastic feed there. So I got this in an extra fine. So I'm one of those masochists that likes an extra fine nib, mostly because I can't always guarantee the paper that I'm going to use, and I like to be able to use my pens in as many different places as possible. So if I take this pen to work, that extra fine is actually really useful, because office paper, as you know, can be crap, and you don't usually get the ability to pick which paper is in the office supply closet. So you have to go with what there is. So see, piston filler, and I'll show filling this pen here in a little bit right before we do the writing sample. But before we do the writing sample, let's go ahead and do some size comparisons so you can kind of get a sense of what this pen is like. Oh wait, real quick before we do that, it does post securely. It's fine when you hold it, it's just fine. I've got huge hands. I'm 6'5", so even then I find this a very comfortable writer. And when it posts, even more so. It fits my hand even better. Not necessary. So it's one of those nice pens that if you like posting, it works. If you don't like posting, it still works great. So let's go ahead and put the cap back on and do some of those size comparisons. All right, so here we've got some pens for comparison. Up top, as you can see, it's the star of the show today. It's the Pelikan M205 Petrol. And just quick fact for those of you that are new to Pelikan, the 5 on the end of a number means that it is a silvery trim, silver colored trim, versus if this had been a M200, it would have had a gold trim. This is the M205. I tend to like silvery trims, but as you can see from this collection, not all of them have that. This here is your Narwhal or Navalur, however you want to pronounce it. This is the Schulkiel. Great pen. Great pen. That one's a medium. Nib. This is my V129 Asvine vacuum filler. I've got some ox blood in it now. It's kind of messy. I probably needs a clean, especially the cap, but it's neither here nor there. This is my Schaefer 100. I just recently did a review of this pen. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check the description. I'll put a link there as well. This is the Hongdian M2, great solid brass pocket pen. And this is the smallest pen I have. This is a Tasche. Ohto Tasche, I mean. This is an okay pen. I also did a review, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to see that one. But as you can see, this is a small pen. If you're familiar with any of these others, this is probably the one that's, you know, in the middle the most. And here's just a standard ballpoint. This is some cheap Skillcraft pen that I got from somewhere. But as you can see, it's a little shorter than that. Now let's take the cap off and see how it looks. There you can see them with the caps off. I left the lids, or the caps off the back. I didn't post them because all of these post differently. I didn't want to get distracted. The only ones I left posted were these two because that's the only way really to use these. Like for instance, this Ohto Tasche. If you don't post it, it's like shorter than a golf pencil almost. So it's basically non-functional without the focus, without the lid. As you can see, nib size comparisons, you know, especially next to this narwhal, trying to do this one-handed, it's kind of tricky. But see the nib size. It is a fairly small nib. This pen is meant to be petite and kind of go anywhere. And be fairly inexpensive as far as Pelikan's nicer pens go. And that's exactly what it is. It is, like I said, it's a nice light pen. I don't have any ink in it now, so let's go ahead and get it inked up and do a quick little writing sample. All right, so here we are. I'm going to go ahead and put some Diamine Aurora Borealis out of this 30mm bottle. I think that's a nice little color match. I don't always color match my pens. I find there's too many inks out there I have, you know, too many inks, too many pens, and there's no rule saying you have to color match. So I like to mix it around. So you just put this in the ink. Let's move that a little closer so you can see. Go ahead and, that's going to be nice. Alrighty. Let's put the lid back on the pen. Just keep that protected while I cap this back up. Let's go ahead and do that writing sample. Alright, so here we've got some Muji paper. This is one of those green Muji books that you can get on Amazon for fairly cheap. I think I paid $11 for 3 of these booklets. No, 5 of these booklets. It was a really good deal, and this paper is great for fountain pens. Paper is less important when you have a nib like I'll go ahead and close this. Nib like this extra fine. Like I said, I oftentimes buy extra fines because I can't always guarantee the quality of my paper, and extra fines tend to write better on cheap office paper, which unfortunately that's what I end up doing most of my writing on because I'm at work most of the day. But let's go ahead and see how this nib goes. So we have, and forgive me in advance for my chicken scratch handwriting. So what am I doing? So it does have feedback. This is not, I mean, for an extra fine, this is, you know, a little softer, but it is not by any means a soft nib. So this petrol is a great, this petrol color on this pen matches fantastically with Aurora Borealis from the that Diamine ink. So let's see. To be or not to be? That is the question. This pen writes just fine. It writes well. Like I said, some people may consider this scratchy depending on the pen you're coming from. I like feedback in my pens. That's another thing. So it does write very well. You get a little bit of feedback. There's some bounce to it. You don't really get line variation. I mean, you can a little bit. That's, you know, this is not a nib that you want to push too much. You'll spring your tines. But it does write well, and it does write reverse. You don't, it's kind of pointless on an EF nib to write reverse. I would actually say it writes just okay. Definitely not a pen that I'm going to be writing reverse on. Like I said, I have the EF nib, the extra fine nib. But it's a great pen. I haven't written cursive forever. So like I said, forgive me my chicken scratch. I hope this gives you a good sense of what this is like. The ink itself, the lighting isn't great, but this ink is almost a perfect match for some of the mid-tones in this beautiful pattern on this pen. While we have it here, let's take another close look at the nib. See, you got the Pelikan logo, kind of hard to see. Got the EF there. It's not nearly as ornate as the 400 or the 600 or not. It's not supposed to be. This is their entry-level model of their fine writing section. They do have cheaper, lower-end models, but those are really meant to be school pens. But yeah. So anyways, let's go ahead and sum this up. So, from long short of it, this is a fantastic pen. It's a steel nib, great way to get into a nice German pen for not a ton of money. Like I said, you can find it, you know, if you use coupons, 150 US or less. It's a kind of pen that'll go anywhere with you. And I don't mean like hardcore EDC, like, you know, out in the woods. You could. I'm not going to take this particular pen out there. I've got, you know, other pens for that. I've got some inexpensive AliExpress pens that are pretty rugged, and I would take those over this one because this is just such a beautiful pen, and I want to keep it looking nice. But it's a great pen, very comfortable, great writer. I've never had a hard start on it. I've never had a, you know, burp on it. It is just, everything about this pen is quality, especially considering the price. I just can't get over that clip. That's a beautiful detail. You know, and then you got the silver cap band there. Germany, Pelikan. Such a beautiful pen. And with that, I think you should like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. With that, thank you very much. Have a good day.